Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. We're out here today taking another look at that Stihl 021 we've been working on. We were in the other shop working on it, and today I had to bring it home in order to do this next little bit. Now, in the other shop, we use all OEM parts. Today, what I want to do is add an aftermarket part, but you could create this using an OEM part. It's totally up to you. What I want to do is upgrade or slash replace the air filter on this saw. Now the old 21 is getting to be an older unit, which means things will eventually get harder and harder to get as far as parts. Right now it's not too bad, but there's other parts that are more readily accessible than, say, parts for the 021. Now what I want to do is I want to fit this air box and air filter off a Stihl MS 250 onto the 021. Why? Because I can walk into a dealer right now and get 250 filters right off the shelf a lot of times, or even a service kit, which will include a filter, a spark plug, and a gas line filter. All three products that you could put on this saw once you do this upgrade. Now this is pretty simple. You're only going to need a few things. You'll need a Dremel, because we'll have to make some modifications to the airbox cover here. You're going to need an 8mm deep well socket and ratchet set, and your scrunch. So obviously take the cover off, get your scrunch out, and you've got to remove the air filter. Listen, if you guys are just tuning in for the first time, be sure to give me a thumbs up and hit subscribe to the channel. We're trying to grow it. When you hit subscribe, hit that bell, hit all. You won't miss future uploads. I want to do something fun with this saw and a couple others that I have before I post this saw for sale, because this saw is a flip for me. We got an 021, I've got an MS 211, and my buddy's got an MS 210. And what I want to do is kind of like a comparison cuts between all three, same log, and just kind of do a video like that. So this needed to be replaced anyway. You guys see the hole in the filter? Filter's pretty clean, but big giant hole in there. It looks burnt or melted. I don't know. Picked this thing up used though. We've been working on it. We cleaned it. We put a new tank vent on. We had to drill it out and do that. So there's a video for that. And now we're going to upgrade or just replace this filter. So when you're looking on here, right, there are two nuts holding the carburetor on. We're going to need to take those off and save them. You're going to need them to hold the new filter and new filter box in place. Guys, so take your new filter box with the new air filter. These are from a Stihl MS 250. I was able to get these parts right off Amazon. If you guys want to do this setup, I'll have links down below. You guys buy through those Amazon links. They help support the channel. I'll also probably have, you know, like the ratchet, the wrench, maybe a scrunch, because sometimes you don't have these tools. You guys can buy those there as well. So once we've got that on, you got to get the nuts back on. These, at least on this saw, they are not flange nuts, so you might as well start them by hand. And it can be a little bit of a pain sometimes, but when they're flange nuts, you can easily stick them in the socket and just twist them on. Wow, this is the most struggle I've had doing these. Plus I'm trying not to block your guys' view. What in the world? It's like I haven't done this before. There we go. I'm sure we've all had these days, huh? Trying not to block the camera, and that's not helping me at all. All right. Those are on. Let's tighten those down. Now sometimes with these aftermarket filter boxes, they don't just slide on perfectly. So sometimes you gotta, monkey with it to get it to pop onto the saw. So get your filter box on. Tighten everything down. Now one thing I do suggest, because again, these are not always perfect, right? They're aftermarket things. Take that filter off if you haven't put it on already, and look down in here and make sure nothing's in the way. You can hit the choke. Everything moves as it should, when you choke. Nothing gets hung up. It all works. If things get hung up, you might have to modify the inside of the plastic just a little bit, you know, just a light sanding to make sure all your parts move smoothly. So let's put our filter on and let's take a look at that top cover. So this is where you want a Dremel or some kind of, you know, grinding or cutting tool that can get into a tight space. There are 3 ridges in here. You really got to remove those ridges. All right, you got to take them right down. Don't cut into this part, but just remove your ridges. And then if your filter has little knobs on top, you know, you could take them down, but you don't have to. I mean, they're going to help prevent the filter rubbing on top of here and like rubbing a hole through it. So hopefully you'd rub through that plastic first, but you know, you kind of got to feel it out yourself. Put your cover back on. Now this will take a little bit of fiddling to get that cover right, because you got to line that hole up. But once it's there, it's there. And that's it. So there it is, guys. You're all done. You know, give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe, let me know what you thought of the video. If you're a mechanic, somebody who's working on Stihl products, doing this kind of stuff, let me know what you thought. Let me know what you think about this kind of upgrade. Is this something you would do or you recommend? I'm always interested in having those sort of conversations. And I hope you guys have an awesome day and stay safe.